Hey, this is Steven Platinum, your friend in wrestling with Platinum versus Raw with the fans back. July 19th, 2021. Certainly a lot more bells and whistles and fireworks and surprises go on. It's nice to see. A little star power to open when John Cena is there. And then we end with Nikki Ash cashing in, pinning Charlotte, and winning the women's title. Let's talk about everything in between. So Cena's there. This is electric. It's great. Love the fans. Yay. And he's going to be on SmackDown on Friday. Can't wait to see Reigns. It's a nice little hook and drag to that show as well. And here comes Riddle on his scooter. Jimmy Smith welcomes us to Raw. Riddle hits the ring. It's Riddle and the Viking Raiders against John Morrison and AJ Styles and Omos. You know how this one's going to end. So the Vikings double team Morrison with the Viking experience. So Riddle and the Viking Raiders win. AJ and Omos look on from ringside. Jackson Riker is backstage now, preparing for his match. They're going to have another gimmick match. Yay. Elias is in the ring. Jackson Riker interrupts from the big screen. Symphony of Destruction falls count anywhere. Elias and Jackson Riker, they hit each other with drums, they hit each other with instruments, all kinds of shenanigans happen. I gotta admit, this feud, they gotta cover it with something, so they're gonna do it with gimmick matches. Jackson Riker wins again. It's kind of a foregone conclusion as well. See, the Raw is much more exciting than usual, but all the matches are kind of foregone conclusions. Besides the cash-in of the Money in the Bank briefcase, I thought that was actually pretty slick. Very unexpected. Mansoor is backstage with Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville. Blase, blah, blah, blah. Mustafa Ali walks up. Then we talk about Carrillo. They get a lot of work done here. They do Sheamus and Carrillo as well. The championship coronation for Charlotte Flair is coming up. Commercial. Back from the break, open challenge from Bobby Lashley. Here comes Charlotte Flair, and we see how she won the title from Rhea Ripley. She says, "It feels so good. I'm the queen." Fans chant for Becky Lynch. Flair says, "Yes, Becky is home breastfeeding while she's here dominating the women's division." I saw the clap back from Becky Lynch. And again, it just shows how, the clapbacks, Becky Lynch's clapback on Twitter was, I'm breastfeeding and I'm still the most over woman on the roster. It really just, again, it's just tearing down everything around them. And it all feels at least true enough that it's just, it is what it is. Here comes Ripley. We should have a match. Blah, 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 blah. They look at the women's ladder match at Money in the Bank. It's a nice bit of foreshadowing. Alexa Bliss appears at her playground, says she's going to have a special guest tonight. Number one contenders match, which makes no sense. The women's tag champions, Natalya and Tamina Snuka, against Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Why wouldn't you just call it a non-title match or something? It's not a number one contender. Natalya and Tamina Snuka win. They pin Baszler, of course. Baszler's fed up with Reginald because of all the shenanigans. 24/7 champ Akira Tozawa runs to the ring now, chased by Lucha House Party and others. Reggie comes from behind and pins Tozawa. Yeah. Number one contenders match. Why do they call it this? U.S. champion Sheamus against Humberto Carrillo. That's a weird new WWE thing. They announced that Karrion Kross will make his Raw debut tonight. That's something worth talking about. Match happens. Sheamus wins. And then stands tall, and that's it. We look at how Bobby Lashley just destroyed Kofi Kingston at Money in the Bank. We got the open challenge, and it's Bobby Lee. Keith Lee. Come on, Steve. boy, Keith Lee, I knew he was big, but he like dwarfs Lashley. Now, Lashley's way more jacked than he is, of course, but it was shocking to see how big Keith Lee is in comparison to even a monster like Lashley. At the end of the day, Bobby Lashley wins with a spear. Okay. Goldberg comes out. Oh, they look at each other, and Goldberg says, "I'm next," which doesn't make sense because it's supposed to be "you're next," because he's going to beat you next. He's going to attack you next. So when he says, "I'm next," does that mean he's going to spear himself? Whatever. Still to come, Ripley versus Flair. Backstage with Bobby Lashley. MVP says Goldberg disrespected them and they won't dignify what he did with a response. Jinder Mahal's in the ring with Veer and Shanky. Talks about Drew destroyed his motorcycle. And he said, well, I can buy 10 motorcycles, but you'll never have a WWE title show as long as Bobby Lashley's champion. And then Drew shows up with a chair and hits the guy with 20 chair shots. Okay. Video package on Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross against Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy wins by cheating and putting his feet on the ropes. Jesus Christ. I know a lot of people are just hyped about this Raw. They're hyped about the crowd being back. In my eyes, this show and the booking of it, they're already burning up the goodwill of the fans are back very quickly. I'm not going to put a number on it or how many weeks or whatever, but man, the show is still trash. It's trash with bigger payroll. Alexa Bliss is backstage. Shouldn't make fun of Lily Eva, and then she falls down, apparently by Bliss's power and Dewdrop, and it's shit. Next week will be Viking Raiders against the Raw Tag Champions with the titles on the line. Exciting. Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair. They have a match. Charlotte basically just begs off and takes the count out. But then, Nikki Ash cashes in after Rhea Ripley lays into Charlotte a little bit, so Charlotte's helpless. Charlotte gets up, catches the crossbody, and Nikki Ash is your new champion. So certainly it was a Raw worth watching. As I told my friend who's kind of trying to get back into wrestling, I said, you want to watch the first shows with the crowd because they'll bust out all kinds of surprises and big stuff, and they most certainly did that, but the fundamental problems remain.